When the new season of Twin Peaks premiered, I commented on the first 4 episodes. At that time, I said that I was definitely in as far as this series was concerned. And 11 episodes later, I am still very, very much in. Now, since that time, I have been asked if I was going to comment any further as the series continued. Initially, I had planned on just waiting until the entire season was over and then commenting on it. I realize now this was a mistake. Many YouTube vloggers out there are commenting on each episode as it goes, and to be frank, I wished I'd done the same. So then I thought, well, perhaps I will wait till the halfway point at episode 8, and then I will comment. And as I watched the first atomic bomb test sequence in New Mexico, I realized what an impossible task it would be to comment 8 episodes in. So much has happened. So much has been revealed. So many new questions have arisen. In my opening video about this new season, one thing I stated was that whatever happens, there was one thing for sure, that David Lynch and Mark Frost would defy audience expectations, and that doing so would include challenging and maybe even frustrating their audience. But when I watched the Stanley Kubrick-esque atomic bomb test sequence in episode 8, I realized that the show has taken on an epic scale that I don't think anyone, including myself, expected. And as I watched the latest episode, episode 11, I realized something else. Twin Peaks, the town, has changed. In season 1 of the original series, there is a scene where Sheriff Truman tells Agent Cooper that Twin Peaks is isolated, separated from the world, and that that's the way they like it. He also mentions that there is something dark, evil, and very old in the woods, and that he, Hawk, Big Ed, and the rest of the Bookhouse boys have always been there to hold it back. Now, some fans have complained about this new season because it is no longer centered in Twin Peaks like it was in the original series. The series has taken on a larger scale, and locales shift back and forth between Las Vegas, North Dakota, New York, and the little mountain town known as Twin Peaks. But that little mountain town isn't the same one that we remember, and how could it be? When the series premiered in 1990, cell phones were not a thing. The internet was not a thing. In episode 11, when Deputy Bobby Briggs looks at the small boy that shot a bullet into the diner, I began to realize something. Twin Peaks is no longer the small mountain town that it used to be, and it never will be again. Mass communication and the internet has come to Twin Peaks. The Packard Mill, the main source of income for the town, is no longer in operation. The outside world has come in. Geographically, the size of Twin Peaks might be the same, but it feels more dense now, and it feels like other towns have grown outward and encroached more and more on the town of Twin Peaks. Maybe it was just me, but as Deputy Bobby Briggs stares into that little boy's eyes, the one that fired the pistol, supposedly on accident, I sensed that there was something evil staring back at him, and I got the feeling that Deputy Briggs sensed it too. Back in 1990, Sheriff Truman and the Bookhouse boys may have done their best to keep that dark evil in the forest at bay. But here, in the present day, with mass communication a common thing, and Twin Peaks growing more and more dense with population, it seems like that evil is encroaching more and more. Twin Peaks is no longer the quiet little town it once was. So it becomes clear to me that there is no way that a Twin Peaks set 25 years later could be the same series that it ever was back in the 90s. But while the locale may keep shifting, I can sense things beginning to coalesce. I can sense that before this 18-hour movie comes to an end, that all roads will lead to the town of Twin Peaks. As I catch up with older characters from the series, I can't help but smile at who has changed and who is still the same. Andy, Lucy, and Hawk don't appear to have changed much since we last saw them. Benjamin Horne and Bobby Briggs, however, have obviously gone through some real changes and are better people now. The amazing amount of nuance that both actors put into these roles is exceptional. Sadly, characters like Shelley still have the same vice. She keeps falling for the wrong guy. Once upon a time it was Leo, and then Bobby, and now it's Red. The irony is that now Bobby is the right guy for her, but now she's too busy with the wrong guy to realize it. And sadly, her daughter is a chip off the old block. The other performance that I want to comment on is that of David Lynch's Gordon Cole. I have to wonder, did David Lynch become a better actor, or is he just giving himself better material to work with? Don't get me wrong, I loved the Gordon Cole character in the original series. But in the original series, the character came off as mostly cartoonish. A kind of a Mr. Magoo, where instead of the running gag being about his eyesight, it was instead about his hearing. In this new season, there is so much more nuance to the Gordon Cole character. He is so much more a three-dimensional character now, and I love the character even more because of this. I'm also still wondering when characters like Audrey and Big Ed will show up, but mostly I wonder, when will the good Cooper wake up? He has been walking around in a daze since he first came back from the Red Room and back into our world. It's made for some amazing comedy, and I hope that the build-up will make it all that more satisfying when he finally does become Agent Cooper again. One thing I definitely love about watching anything by David Lynch is that when the story begins, I have no idea where it's going to take me. But wherever it does take me, it's definitely going to be somewhere both wonderful and strange, and with a little bit of terror and comedy thrown in for good measure. This is TJR. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet already. So now the question remains is, do I continue to comment episode per episode or wait till it's all over? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks again. Bye-bye.